Do you change your own oil on vehicles and equipment? Do you drain your oil into inferior plastic containers that never seem to be quite adequate for the job? Are you tired of storing your used motor oil in these cheap plastic drain pans, only to find yourself tripping over them because they always seem to be in the way? Do you find it difficult to neatly transfer used motor oil from these cheap plastic containers into other containers to be recycled? If you said yes to any of these questions, then we have a solution for you. Introducing the all-new GARVEE electric oil drain pan. With its huge 20-gallon capacity, your days of spilling and overfilling inferior plastic oil drain pans are a thing of the past. With its low-profile, industrial-strength casters and convenient wagon design, it makes this thing easily maneuverable under most vehicles and equipment. When the time comes to empty out your used motor oil, the GARVEE electric oil drain pan features an electric pump, so it will be easily transferable into other containers. Go visit GARVEE.com today and order your very own GARVEE fuel and oil transfer product. Make sure to use discount code 1010 at checkout for 10% off your order and choose a GARVEE product that's right for you. What's up, everybody? I'm Jason and you're watching Tennessee Mountain Homestead. Today we're about to do an oil change on our 2016 Chevy Express van, but it's going to be different because we have a new toy to do it with. The team over at GARVEE.com reached out to me recently and asked if I would do a review on their 20-gallon electric oil drain pan. This drain pan features a 20-gallon capacity. It's got a debris screen, much like your Jiffy Lubes and your drive-in oil change places have. It's got an electric pump, so when this thing's full, you can just plug it in, turn it on, and it transfers out of this hose into containers where you can haul it off to the auto parts store or whatever. Now, it did come packaged in a box and there was some assembly required. It was not difficult at all. Basically, we had to put on the tires, the casters, bolt the pump on, and clamp the hose down. But if you guys are changing your own oil and you got a shop, it ain't no problem. Now, the van is jacked up outside, ready to go. Let's get this thing underneath it and take it for a whirl. For about the past 30 years, I've been changing motor oil, and I've always used stuff like this from the auto parts store. Now, I know a lot of you guys probably also have the same experience with these. They're kind of small, they're always shallow, and if you're under there and the wind's blowing, a lot of times the oil will literally blow off to the side and get all over the driveway. Plus, these things are notorious, they leak, they're messy. When they get full, they're a pain to dump into some other container or even haul this, all oily, over to the recycling bin at your local auto parts store or wherever. But we're gonna go ahead and set this thing aside for today, and I can't wait to give that thing a try. We're gonna unbolt that drain plug, and hopefully the oil has all the room in the world to drain down in the oil pan. It'll catch every bit of it, and I know at 20 gallons, it's never gonna overfill. All right, here we go. We're under the van. I got my 15mm socket on the drain pan bolt. And here we go. It's nice, I can put my bolt right there, it drains also. And you can see how much of an arc you get on the oil. Now, you know, when you have that little plastic drain pan under here and you're trying to guess where it's gonna shoot out, how far, and then once it shoots out, it always comes back. when it starts to drain out and get low on oil. So far so good. I'm not sitting here stressed out. I'm not spilling anything on my asphalt. Not that it's never happened before. All right, Stefan, go ahead and slide that axle shaft all the way out.
All right. There we go.
There it is. Oh man. But hopefully we're going to mitigate that from now on. And we have so much capacity that before, oh, also on those plastic drain pans, you know how it has that little plug in the center? Some of them are round and it has the plug. That's the one I just threw out. I had it for like 15 years. That little plug will fall down in the hole and then the oil's filling it up and you got to like stick your fingers in the oil to pull that up or it starts overflowing over the side. Yeah. This is so much nicer. So we're going to let this finish draining out and then I got to also do my oil filter. All right guys, now it's time for the oil filter. On this particular vehicle, I like to use these filter wrenches. They're got a nylon strap and they've got this square tubing around them. They work with a 1/2-inch drive socket wrench. And once you get it around the filter in position like so, all right guys, well, the last person that put this oil filter on put it on obnoxiously tight, but we got it off. But as you can see, all that oil has not gotten everywhere except for on my glove and into the oil drain pan. So we got our old filter off. I got my new filter and we put some oil in it, some fresh oil, so the engine doesn't lose any prime and it gets oil as soon as it starts. I know it's a big controversy, but we do that. And now, for all those that don't know how to put an oil filter on, Stefan, you get it to where it's snug. Just like that. That's about as hard as I can turn it with my fingers. And then you just get a little bit better grip on it. I usually use 2 hands. And this has a nice friction, something down here. It's got like grit to it. So Fram knows. Thanks, Fram. So you just get it with a couple more fingers and you turn it maybe another turn, 3/4 to a turn, just like that. That ain't going nowhere, and you don't need to use tools to tighten it up any more than that. So now I got my drain pan plug. We're gonna reinsert that. It doesn't need to be monkey tight either. There's probably a torque spec, but right about there, feels pretty good. Wipe off your excess oil, anything that dripped since you put it back together. And we're good to go. Let's pull this GARVEE drain pan out of here, get her off the jack stands. He can put an oil filter on so tight that I can't get it off with a wrench, but here, he can't unscrew a jack.
It is pretty tight.
All right, we're gonna refill this thing with 6 quarts of Mobil 1 full synthetic 5W30. I like to leave the bottles with the caps on upside down for a couple minutes. That way all the oil, the residual stuff will go down to the cap. But that was 5 quarts, and this is my 6th here, minus what we put in the oil filter. I'm gonna go ahead and fire this thing up, make sure we got oil pressure. Check for leaks too. All right, we got at least 40 PSI. Everything looks good under here. So now we're gonna check the pump feature. I only got 6 quarts, give or take. I don't know how much was actually in the van, if it lost any, if there was still some in the engine, but I've got about 6 quarts in this thing. It holds 20 gallons. The pickup for the pump is all the way on the bottom in the front of the tray. So I don't know if it's gonna have to catch a prime, but we're gonna do this together right now. I got it plugged in. I've got an empty milk carton here, and I'm only doing this so that y'all can see the oil go into it, but I'll probably put the remainder in this empty oil container. So here we go, guys. I'm gonna crank it up. Oh yeah. That's transferring quite quickly. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and kill it, because this only holds 4 quarts. I can do math, I guess. I knew that 4 quarts were in a gallon. All right. We're gonna pump the rest into here and see if it'll pump itself dry. Raise it up. Yeah, there you go. All right, kill it. It's probably good to have a rag handy. But there it is, guys. First impressions. I like it. I'm a fan. I think what I'll do, I'll modify this. I'll make the hose a lot shorter. I'll make it so that it's just short enough where I can hang this hook right there and maybe just have a little bit of excess. Because I really don't see the need for all that. I guess they just give you options. I don't know. This concludes our review of the GARVEE 20-gallon electric oil drain pan. And like I said before, I think it's fantastic. I think it's going to serve us well for many years to come. It seems like a quality product. It's all steel. The pump has plenty of capacity. You saw it lift that oil. It pushed it right up that hose into our containers. Minimal mess. So yeah, this thing checks out. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Head over to GARVEE.com and check out their website. They've got a whole bunch of other equipment similar to this. They've even got a 25-gallon one, and I believe they've got a smaller one of this oil drain pan. And if you find something you like, make sure to use discount code 1010 when you check out for 10% off your order. That's going to do it for the video. Thanks for watching. Once again, I'm Jason. You're watching Tennessee Mountain Homestead, and we'll see you on the next one.